This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Brandon Andrus Green.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast Live. A lot of people, a lot of leaders don't have an information problem. They already know plenty. The harder part is getting clear enough to actually move. Today we're talking with Erica Kesse from Your Goal Concierge about what it takes to move from stuck to clear to action. Erica, welcome. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Kesse is my last name, and thank you so
Kesse.
much, Brandon, for allowing me to be on your show.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited to have you on and learn all about what you have going on with Your Goal Concierge. Can you tell me how you even got started in this line of work in the first place?
Yes, it all started because I recognized that people were using me for my gifts without really caring for me in the process. And so, of course, I needed to set some boundaries. And the boundary was for my birthday, I said, I'm going to start a business and it's going to be called, since I was working with everybody on their goals, I was going to be their concierge. So that's how it all began. So now if you come to me and ask me for this or that and everything else, there is a charge for it. And so it was my way of stopping being that person that was over giving and doing so much for others and them not valuing it. So I put a price tag on it, and that's how my business began.
And when did this all take place?
It was in 2013. I was in the middle of getting my
Wow.
master's degree in clinical mental health counseling and civic leadership. And I thought, well, they are two different degrees. Yes, I'm a glutton for punishment. I was doing two master's degrees at the same time. And I said that I needed to put some perimeters around the other things that I was doing, which was hosting and being a mistress of ceremony. I was doing graphic design, um, brochures, resumes, walking people
A
through
lot.
things that they would do. Like I have a lot. That's why it's a concierge. So many things they come to me because they think I know how to do it, and usually I can work it out for them.
Right. And not only are you a therapist, but now you're also a coach and a leader's healer. Is that correct?
Yes. So, a therapist, licensed professional counselor. Those are the specialization that works specifically with people in their careers. That's the reason why I work so heavily with entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs, and being their execution coach. If that's the way that they would like to work with me, for people who want a second in command, I offer chief operating officer services, utilizing the counseling skills, knocking out those mental blocks because a lot of CEOs can be bottlenecks in their business. And then the leader's healer, that part of it is about lifting. I recognize that when I'm working with individuals, leaders, not just CEOs, but all leaders, it's very important to recognize that they're sometimes not doing what they need to do to be the best influence for others. Like making sure that they're healthy, making sure that they have their social emotional intelligence, making sure that they're influencing from a place of healthiness and doing no harm. So there's the leader's healer piece where I work with leaders in order to walk them through and make sure that they're taken care of. I even do Happy Day Commander where I check in on the leaders, the guides, the healers. I work on making sure that they're eating, sleeping, drinking water, moving their
Hmm.
body, getting sunlight, and giving themselves 15 minutes of time with themselves so they can be clear and they can be a great influence for those they serve.
That's great advice. Let's say a leader says, I know what I need to do. I just can't seem to do it. What's usually happening underneath that?
Oh, great question. There's probably some previous circumstances where they have been experiencing imposter syndrome. Maybe they think that, oh, in this environment I cannot show up fully like I would normally do. It could be that they're experiencing burnout. It's, you have to kind of investigate what's going on within them. It could be a trauma that has caused them to get to a space where they're procrastinating and unable to activate and execute. So a lot of times when you go to a coach, they're just ready for you to move. They're saying move, move, move. But if you work with me, I know because of the training, the trauma training, I'm also specialized in playing expressive arts therapy. I may need to talk to that little inner child in them that maybe their dad or their mom said some things that caused some feelings inside of them that caused them not to activate as well as they could. So that's the difference between me and working with other individuals.
It sounds like it's a lot more holistic approach.
Yes, the full person. We have to make sure that we note all the parts, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, um, professionally, all the parts of a person in order for them to be what they need to be to serve others in the ways that they're not bleeding on other people from their own traumas, that they are
Mhm.
being a light, that they're shining, and maybe even elevating others around them in the best ways. But they must make sure that they care for themselves first. And it is about taking care of yourself first. I know that some people think leaders are should eat last or go last, but it is about you operating from your overflow, and then they can't
Mhm.
help but get from you all the overflow around you after you've fed
Mhm.
yourself and done all the things that you need to do for yourself.
Mhm. The overflow is a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what do you what are high performer like leaders kind of tend to hide, ignore, or push through for too long?
For too long, it's usually something to do with their health. Usually they ignore
Oh.
making sure that they eat lunch, which is why I do Happy Day
Mhm.
Commander at lunchtime, so to remind them to make sure you eat. Another thing, like it's those basic habits, not making sure that they get enough rest, not making sure that they're doing some kind of exercise, some kind of movement. Usually that is the thing that they take a long time to do. But I just know that I've worked with so many of my clients, both counseling clients and CEOs and business owners. And if I get them to truly do those foundational habits, they're resourced. So when any kind of conflict comes on top of it, they are able to operate from their overflow instead of operating from their trauma reactions, from their triggers,
Mhm.
from the hurt, the pain that they've had, if they would do these things. And most importantly, another thing that a lot of people don't do is when you're busy doing everything to serve other people, taking time for yourself every day, 15 minutes of just recognizing your thoughts, what's going on emotionally, and asking yourself those hard questions because most people do have the answers. It's inside of them. This is good neighbor because this is about making sure that you tap into the God inside of you who has all the
Mhm.
answer to everything that you need. A lot of times we're looking outside of ourselves when the answer is deep down inside of us from our ancient wisdom from God.
So it sounds like you really want them to be thriving on the inside so it can be overflowing on the outside. And then therein lies their ability to provide good leadership, good business, good services, good philanthropy, ministry, whatever have you.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yes, yes. And
So,
it's
what does thriving look?
go ahead.
What would you say thriving looks like in ordinary life when nobody's watching? I mean, we got down the 15 minutes of personal time, really checking in, having those hard questions, making sure you eat, doing some exercise. But from outside perspective, what does it really look like to be thriving when nobody's watching?
Well, it's also very much a personal experience. They have to find their way, which is why I created from losing a child to an ectopic pregnancy. I was one of those busy people. Okay. Remember I told you I was doing 2 master's degrees at the same time. I was also doing 3 internships. So I was one of those busy people doing everything else, distracting myself from those important questions that I need to ask myself about my own livelihood, about my own well-being. So then of course, a lot of times we have a conflict that shows up. And that big conflict that for me was losing a child to an ectopic pregnancy. Then I lost my will to live because I didn't feel like I wanted to continue after that. So I reached out to the social support system, people around me who I thought was there for me, but they seemed to not be able because I was the strong one. I was the one that held it all together for everyone. So they did not have it to give. Well, when I was giving myself a safety plan, which is something therapists give to people who are suicidal or who have lost their will to live, I was in the middle of giving myself one, and I had the inspiration to create the Thrive Plan, which is actually it's a reflection of where you are regarding the conflict. Then it tells you to go into caring for yourself, coping, instead of what we normally do. And what all of us do is we have different proclivities based on how we have been surviving so far in this world. You're doing fight, flight, freeze, flop, or fawn. Those are trauma reactions. Instead of going straight into your trauma reactions, which is what you've been doing to survive, instead go into coping, loving on yourself, caring for yourself. That could be going for a walk. That could be making sure you eat. That could be talking to a safe friend. That could be listening to music. So I have a plan that I give people, and they get to figure out how they can plan to thrive with the accountability of a social support system of people who are there for them, that understand what it's like for them and their process, to catch them, to check them, and to care for them. A social support system. Now, I find that a lot of people may not have those people who are rooting for them, who are caring for them in that way, or so I have a part of this is the Try on Thriving ministry, where we have Thrive strategists, people who they can sign up, they can get a membership to get a Thrive strategist to be there in that way. So that's a high functioning social support system person that can know what their Thrive plan is and walk them through when they're dysregulated.
I love it. And if someone wants to learn more about your goal concierge or try on thriving, where should they go?
Yes, please go to, and I made it really easy for you to find it. It's bit.ly, so bit.ly/YGC, which is your goal concierge, hello. So bit.ly/YGC, hello.
Erica Kesse, thank you for being here. I so appreciate you. I know you're a busy woman.
Yes, it was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for this. I want to also thank Ebony Jones, who told me about you and asked me to,
She's a sweetheart.
referred me to you. I want to make sure I shout her out and say thank you, dear, for letting me come hang out with Brandon and get to know him. And yes, thank you again, Brandon.
Thanks, Erica.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptulsa.com. That's gnptulsa.com, or call 918-301-6356.